This right here is the only core series that you will ever need. It might be incredibly challenging, but you can do the exercises in isolation, or you can try to just do the entire 8-minute series right here with me. I promise you that if you do this on a regular basis, your core will be stronger.
Start on your back with your feet about hip distance apart. Maybe get a little bit of a slight tilt underneath of the pelvis so that your back is making contact with the mat, so that your hip bones are just shining straight up towards the ceiling. And start to support your head, elbows super wide. Make sure you can't even see them in your peripheral vision. And then just start to basic crunch curl, thinking about each vertebrae pulling up off the mat one at a time. Little exhale, lift. Exhale, lift. If you're moving along with me, we are doing each exercise just 20 times. So if it helps for you to count down and know what to expect, that's that. That also means that we will be doing it 10 on each side when they are right and left. A couple more little basic crunches. And once we've gotten through all of those, we're going to take a pause at the top and then just pulse 1 inch deeper from there. Maybe a little bit sharper exhale, continuing to think heavy head, relaxed neck, maybe like you're holding a piece of fruit underneath the chin to make sure that it's not glued down to your chest. Just tiny lift, exhale, exhale. Once you've done that set, we'll walk our feet a little bit closer if they've gotten further out and start to find our side to side penguin move, or at least that's what I call it. Just a little reach right and left for the insides of the ankles, thinking each time about which muscles that you are using, which side that you are shortening, focusing mostly on that side and relaxing through the other one. Back through center, support the head again. We'll start to float our legs up to a tabletop position. Knees just softly bent and going into a reverse crunch. Again, using that exhale, trying not to get the momentum going, trying not to feel the heaviness through your legs. Just little back and up, little back and up. It doesn't matter if this movement is super small, if your butt barely leaves the mat. Just pure core movement, lower core scoop, like a little ice cream scoop. Back and up, back and up. When you've done 20 of those, we'll bend our knees back to that tabletop position and start to find a side to side, reaching the elbow towards the outside of the knee and thinking more about the armpit reaching for the knee than the elbow, so that again, we are not pulling on the head or the neck. We are using that core to make this motion happen. 10 on each side. Then we'll take our right hand and we'll bring it to that left thigh at a tabletop position. Left hand behind the head supporting it, and start to find a 2 count drop and an exhale to lift of that right leg. Yeah. More that you are crunched in the upper body, and the further that you are pressing into that thigh as you press it back into your palm, the more you'll get out of this exercise. It doesn't look like much, but it feels like craziness going on in your body. My entire low core is shaking as I do this. We'll do 10 on each side, and then we will switch and head to the opposite direction. Bending into that right knee, taking that left hand across the body to the top of the thigh. Right hand supports the head this time, down and up, 2 counts. Inhales to lower and exhales to lift. If it ever feels like it is too intense to have that upper abdominals engaged, having your head leaving the mat, you can always just release it down and let your head and neck rest. That is completely and totally fine. By doing it this way, we are working our upper abdominals as well as our lower abdominals, but sometimes it is easier or better to focus on just one or the other. Inhales to lower and exhales to lift. Once you've done 10 on each side, lengthen both legs up long towards the ceiling, and like you're climbing a rope, start to tap opposite ankles. If ankles feel like they are way too far away, tap opposite shins. And if ankles feel easy, maybe even tapping the tops of the feet or the toes, just reaching across, tap to the right, tap to the left. 20 times total. Then grab onto the backs of the thighs, take a couple rocks, a couple rolls until you find yourself in a boat pose position. Bring the shoulder blades on the back body. You can continue to hold the backs of the thighs and just tap the toes, lift, tap, and lift. Maybe those legs come to full extension, and maybe they stay with a soft bend even when they are out long in front of you. Down and up. If you'd like to layer up here, you can always float the arms. Whether you do that or not, that is where we are headed next. If that doesn't feel good, do not continue to layer up. Maybe you lengthen the legs. Maybe you even lengthen the arms, fingertips reaching for the toes. Hold here, breathe, and then release, sitting all the way up. Legs out long in front of you. Cross your arms over your chest like you are a mummy. We are almost there. Home stretch. Take a breath in. Exhale, rolling down. One vertebra at a time. Super, super nice and slow. So much control. When it doesn't feel good with your arms at your chest, you can always start to float them, palm towards center line. Maybe you can even do this slower than me. Take one more inhale and then exhale, release. Full body stretch, arch your back. Let it go.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you learned something. Please remember to like and subscribe.